He said, I'm giving you an old command, which you've had from the beginning, and I'm giving you a new command. And it turns out that the old command and the new command are the same command. And how can a command be an old command and also a new command? Well, he's speaking in one sense here. It's an old command because it was part of the gospel that you heard me preach years ago when you came to believe. And so in that sense, it's old. But it's also a new command because before Jesus gave it, before he taught it, before he lived it, it didn't exist. John is referring back to something that we read in John's Gospel, chapter 13. Jesus said, I give you a new command, that you love one another. The world will know that you belong to me when you love one another. And so the life that Jesus was living, the life that he wants us to live, is a life of love. It's an old command. It's part of our message we believed in when we first believed. But it's also a new command because before Jesus, it was never taught. And Jesus himself was the one who gave it to us. Now, when we talk about love, it is a problem in the ancient world. It's a problem now. In fact, they had 3 different words for love because they were trying to describe different aspects of what we know as what love is. Today we have, I don't know how many words for love. And whatever word we have for love, we take it either as being romantic or erotic or an emotion or a feeling. And we think if we have love, it means we feel something. But that's not what Jesus did when he loved. Later on in 1 John, John describes this in detail. Verse 16 of chapter 3. Let me read it to you. This is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for us. And we ought to lay down our lives for our brothers and sisters. If anyone has material possessions and sees a brother or sister in need but has no pity on them, how can the love of God be in that person? Dear children, so he cared for them like children. He's trying to express to them what a father would express for a child. Let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. So for Jesus, love was not a feeling or emotion. It was not something he said. It was an action. It was a deed. Jesus showed his love for us by laying down his life for us. Now, let's go back. So what? Jesus lived. So what? Jesus died. So what? Jesus rose to the grave. The so what is that we begin to live like Jesus lived. And what he did was he showed how he loved us by dying for us. And we also ought to be willing to lay down our lives for each other. Okay. You're saying that's what love is. Die for somebody else? Die for another believer? Now, what I believe is happening here is that he's laying down a marker. In other words, if you're willing to lay down your life for someone, then any action, and that's the ultimate thing, right? Right? I mean, after you're dead, how can you show love for anybody? You're dead. So the ultimate thing is dying. Then any action short of dying contains what love is. So, for example, you say, I can't forgive that person who's hurt me, but you're supposed to be willing to die for them. Are you getting this? So if you can be willing to die for them, how can you not forgive them because of some little tiny thing that they did? So he's laying out a marker, a boundary line that most likely none of us will ever be required to do, but expresses if you can do that, you can do everything before that.